Welcome back to the Panic Room, everyone, and to another tag video today. And yes, we have the tag owl. He is here for the horror of social media tag. So guys, I was actually tagged in this by its creator, John, over at Books of Blood. So thank you, John. And can we just say, another original tag? My gosh, BookTube has been killing it lately with some awesome original tags. I have John's video pulled up on my phone for the prompts, and prompt number 1. Facebook. Which horror character would you be most likely to accept a friend request from, and which horror character would you be least likely to accept a friend request from? Okay, so I had to think about this. I don't do Facebook, so I actually have all of mine wrote down. Yes, I actually prepared. So for most, I went with Stella from Revelator. And you might be like, why? It's because she has such like a sassy personality. I feel like that the kind of things that she would share or her updates or whatever would be kind of cool and fun to read. Not to mention she's a moonshiner, so I can just see like these, you know, cryptic pictures like, hey, I'm back in the kitchen or something like that, you know? So Stella from Revelator. Now for the least likely that I would add on Facebook, I actually picked the moms from Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And simply because I was trying to think like which mom, but I feel like all of them, it would just be like, I'm cleaning dishes today, or sharing Pinterest posts about like how to get wine out of your tablecloth, you know. Not that any of that is bad per se, I just wouldn't really want to see that on social media every single day. So those are my two for our Facebook prompts. All right, prompt number 2, Instagram. Which horror character would you be most likely to follow, and which horror character would you be least likely to follow? So for most, I went with Coraline. Because if you remember, I don't know why this hit me. If you remember, there was a part in the movie where like she's walking around the house, you know, writing stuff down about, you know, the different things that she sees. So I was thinking like, you know, what if instead of writing, she had a camera? And I can just see Coraline like walking around snapping pictures and stuff. And you know, what do we do with pictures nowadays? You put them on Instagram. So I was thinking that Coraline would probably be kind of cool to follow. I don't know why that scene popped in my head when I read this prompt, but it did. Okay, and the least likely. I don't know if my review of this book will be up when I post this tag, but it's Spiderwebs. From Every Time We Meet at the Dairy Queen, your face explodes. And you might be saying like, why? You know, she's like, I think when that book starts, she's like a 12-year-old girl, 13-year-old girl, something like that. And it's because she gets obsessed with this guy. And I was thinking like her Instagram would just be pictures of her like, or something like that. So, so I was like, yeah, we'll go with Spiderwebs for the least likely to be added to Instagram. Okay, so prompt number 3 is Twitter. Which horror character would have the best tweets and which horror character would have the worst tweets? Okay, so for me, for the best tweets, I put Irina from Boy Parts. And it's because she's insane and a sociopath. And some of her dialogue in that book cracked me up. So I can just imagine what her tweets would be like. I feel like they would just be like rambling and incoherent and hilarious. So for the most likely to follow their tweets, it would be Irina from Boy Parts. And for the least likely, you know, I kind of had to draw some inspiration from John for this one. You know, I want to say John said Jason because he doesn't talk. So I went with the guys from Wrong Turn. You know, the ones like the hillbillies, the murderers, yeah, because they just like babble. So I was like, yeah, that probably wouldn't be very conductive to tweets, you know? Although I don't have Twitter, I have no idea how any of that works, nor do I really care to have a Twitter, really. So yeah, I went with them simply because they don't really talk. All right, number 4, YouTube. Which horror character would you be most likely to subscribe to, and which horror character would you be least likely to subscribe to? All right, so this one I had to think about. And I went with, this is so random, but I went with the kids from Flesh Rehearsal, specifically their band, because I watch an absolute shit ton of music on YouTube. I have a music playlist. It's insane. So I was like, I would like to know what their music sounds like. And yeah, if they had a YouTube channel, I would totally follow them, just for that reason. So, the kids from Flesh Rehearsal. Okay, and the least likely, this is the one I struggled with the most. And I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Kassler from our Satan book. And the reason being is because he's real dry, but he likes the sound of his own voice. So I can see him like making videos like, I don't know, like talking on a subject of psychology or something, and it just be an absolute snore fest. So yeah, I had to go with him because he's kind of sort of arrogant, but you know, he's a smart guy, and I can see him like liking the sound of his own voice enough to make a YouTube channel, which I don't think I would care for. So Dr. Kassler from our Satan book. Okay, so prompt number 5 is Tinder. Which horror character would you be most likely to swipe right for, and which horror character would you be most likely to swipe left for? This was easy. To swipe right, Patrick Bateman. Specifically Christian Bale's Patrick Bateman. Because, have you seen him? And the one to swipe left on is the boyfriend from Cackle, because he's an absolute anus. Yeah, he's arrogant, and I don't really dig on that. Yeah, so I would have to go with him. Although, side note, we read about a lot of terrible dudes and dudettes. Yeah, I would probably swipe left on most of them. Just saying. Alright, and the optional one was TikTok. And while I am far too old for TikTok, I had one leap into my brain as to who would be the most annoying and whose TikToks I would just absolutely loathe to see. And it would be the kids from the ruins. Yeah, I know I dog on them a lot, but it's warranted. So if you've read this book, and even if you haven't, you know that the whole premise is like these kids are lost in the jungle, let's just say, without giving anything away. Can you not see these kids, like with their phone held out like, hey, I just saw a big jungle flower, or some kind of dumb shit like that? Come on, you can see this. You can see this. Tell me you can't. Okay, you guys know, I always mention that whole like, I peed on my foot scene that almost made me throw the book across the room. Can you not see Stacy, which I'm thinking was the name of the one who did that? Can you not see her like, ha, I'm so stupid, I just peed on my own foot, or something like that? Is it just me? Because I can totally see that. Anyway, for TikTok, kids from the ruins. So guys, that's it. It's kind of a short tag. I feel like this went by really quick. And you know, I really think John did a fantastic job with this. It's amazing to me that we haven't had something similar, you know, since it is like the age of social media. So he really hit the nail on the head, connecting horror and social media together. So I thought he did awesome. Now guys, John tagged a ton of people, so I'm not gonna tag anyone. You know, obviously I will have his video linked down below, but if you wanna do it, you totally should, because this was pretty cool. And like I said in the beginning, there have been just some amazing original tags coming out lately. I mean, my Lord. And this one is super relevant, right? I mean, all of us have at least like 1 or 2 forms of social media, right? But guys, thank you for hanging out for another tag video. Please like and subscribe, it would really help me out. And until next time, bye for now.